other than working with Mozart Munchkins, he's also doing a lot of other things in the community. What can you tell us about that?
Well, a couple of years ago, he was commissioned to compose a piano concerto for the Orchard Park. I think it was the 75th anniversary of Orchard Park. And there is a Dr. Hogenkamp. Somehow he met Dr. Hogenkamp, and they were putting up a sound system, and they began to talk about it, and Stephen decided to compose some music for the sound system. And he's going to, I don't know whether they decided whether they're going to do half an hour of music every day, a new composition, or one album per month. That is to be decided. But we are hoping that is going to be quite enjoyable for the people who live here.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to it.
Half an hour new composition every day, or even just an album a month would be very, very nice.
Well, I imagine with creativity, you just have to let it happen when it's happening. So at whatever pace, I'm sure it'll be beautiful.
You can't force that.
Right.
You can't say, well, you have to design this thing by such and such a date. You have to come up with a new idea. What idea? I don't have any. No, I have to think about it.
Right. It has to just come.
Same with music. It has to come.
So what advice would you give to parents who feel that their child has musical aptitude? You did so great with Steve. What have you learned works?
Well, the first thing I would do is expose them to music. You have to have music in your home all the time. Different kind of music, all kinds of music. And that becomes a part of them. And then if they are really interested, then you enroll them in some lessons, but make sure that they get a teacher who can actually tailor the lessons to the child's uniqueness, because every child is different. And we have three kids, and they are as different in day and night. We figured that after we learned to deal with Steve, Animal would be really simple. Well, it wasn't. And we figured by the time we had two, and we were experts, now Peter would be a cinch. It didn't turn out that way, They're all different. So music is the same way. So if you get a teacher who will recognize that in your child and fit the lessons to the child's ability, that's one of the reasons why Stephen composes music that addresses the child's ability or lack of progress in certain areas. He composes musical pieces for the child to learn and practice with. So that is one thing. The other thing is, in the beginning, it's going to drive you crazy at home. And you will say, when is he going to stop? When is he going to stop? But if you stick with it for a while, then you will not want him to stop ever. You will enjoy listening to it so much.
Steve has said that the reason people and kids start succeeding because you let them understand that they can achieve anything they want, and that was one thing you instilled with him, is that it was never a no, you can't do this. It was like, if you want to do it, then try for it and you can do it. And I think that's wonderful that you kept doing that with him, and obviously why he became so successful.
I probably learned that from my grandmother and my parents. I don't ever remember neither my parents nor my grandparents or my grandmother saying, Stevie, you can't do that. Never. I never heard that in my life. It was always, go ahead and do it. And that frees you up. And it takes care of some of the inhibitions that you might have. You don't have to play with your mental blocks. Mm-hmm. Right. You are too young for this, or you can't do this. Go ahead and do it. Mm-hmm. And that's very helpful. So that's probably what the parents should do with their kids. Support them, help them along, but don't live your life through your children, because that is what most parents make. They want to be a baseball player, didn't succeed, so they want their children to become baseball players. Maybe they want to be musicians. Mm-hmm. Let them sing or let them play an instrument.
It's very good advice.
Drive a car. I don't know, be a race car driver.
Right.
You have to let them go in the direction that they have a natural instinct to go on their own. You cannot succeed in anything if it's forced upon you. You have to have a burning desire to do it.
And you had said that there's so many variables that come into play, and there's luck and there's passion, and different things that happen along life, but as long as they have passion for it, just to let it flow and let it happen.
You have to have passion, you have to have a burning desire, but you also have to be willing to work as a sled dog. If once you find your niche and you think you have a talent, you have an ability there, You have to be willing to work. I learned that in coaching, that sometimes the most talented kids wouldn't advance because their talent got them to a certain level. But what they didn't understand, that at every level you have a whole bunch of other kids who have that talent, and they advance because they're also willing to work. So the work part cannot be, I don't care how talented you are, if you're not willing to work and almost dedicate your life to that particular passion, you will never achieve anything very great. It's just not going to happen.
Well said.
In sports, I always thought you need three things. You need God-given talent. If you don't have music too, probably. If you don't have God-given talent, you can become very good, but you will never make it to the very, very top. And then besides the God-given talent, you have to have a burning desire, a fire in the belly to get there, and you have to be willing to work day and night at it. Then you will get there. Almost guaranteed.
Well, just like you did. You won a medal in the Olympics.
Yes, I won a silver medal.
Okay.
And again, luck was involved there too. My opponent was a righty, I was a lefty, and we had a favorable win to a righty, and I lost by a couple of hundredths of a second, and that win probably would have would mean we had about a 25-mile-an-hour wind. That interfered with me probably. The interference probably held me back about 8 seconds. And in the Olympics, you can't afford that. And it was just a matter of luck, Had the wind be coming from the other direction favorable to me, I would have won easily.
Right.
So,
still an honor nonetheless.
Yeah. But you get to the top. If you work hard at it, you have the talent, you are willing to do whatever it takes, then you'll get there. And this is what you have to tell children.